Okay, so this is where we're up to. We've got the DI resin has been put in, we've checked all the valves and they're in the right location, and so now we're going to connect the water and turn the water on. So first thing we do is, Johnny, take the honours. We put the supply hose into the sediment filter, the pure hose, which we're using Rhino hose coming out of it, and then the wastewater hose, we've got red Rhino tube there to show that red is waste. All right, the next thing we're going to do, just for the first time, if we've changed the filters here or the first time we're using it, we're just going to make sure there's no pressure in the system. So we're going to take the TDS meter here or the bung out of this here. I'll just show you that again, that's a shoulder. When you put them in, you don't need to press the shoulder, but when you want to release it, you've got to press that shoulder in firmly, and then it'll come out really easily. If you force that, you'll bend the teeth and break that fitting there, which is not good for any of us. Okay, so that's now sitting out. This is now open. And Johnny, do the honours. And
we have to turn our taps back.
Oh, close up here. Right, so here we are. We're going to make sure that these taps are on. They're ceramic valves, nice and easy. Up is on. So now the wastewater will flow and the pure water will flow. So let's go. Let's do this.
Nice and slow.
Oh, Johnny was going to turn the tap, but Edward's here. Okay. Nice and slow. There we go. So now you can see, this is a clear filter. You'll actually see a bit of colour in there because we actually just took this one from testing, and it's got a little bit of sediment that it's caught up with. So you'll see the sediment filter will fill. And then the water will be going behind there. You can see the water coming up. I better get myself ready. In the carbon filter. Oh, Johnny's going to tighten that off. Thank you. Okay, let's go. Oh, that's good.
Gotta be pushing all your air out.
Turn that down slower. All right, so I'll plug that. Let's turn it on. Okay, so now we've connected everything. We've got the water running, and I want to bring the camera in and show you the pressure. I'm going to turn this pressure gauge around a little bit so you can read it. So you can see here, this is in PSI. We're running at about 35 to 37 PSI, which is really low. In the mornings here, it's about 51. So it's a little bit easier. Now, what we've got is the Rhino hose running, and then this is actually the pressure at the end of the Rhino hose. So we're running at 9.2 PSI at this point, and then when we come across and bring in the constructor brush, this is a 16-inch constructor brush with every second jet open, then you can see the flow coming in from there. Now, whilst that doesn't look like a lot because we actually rinse on the glass, that is completely fine. We can clean windows perfectly with that much water. Right? All we're looking for is a little rinse blade. When you're rinsing off the glass, you need the water to squirt because you're going to pull the brush off the glass and you need it to squirt a long way. Because we rinse on the glass with constructor, the water only actually needs to go past the bristles. So this is perfectly fine. However, I want to show you what happens when we turn on the pump. So we actually have the Wayne pump separate to the system right now, so for testing purposes. So Johnny, if you turn on the pump, you'll be able to see what happens. If we bring the camera in, you'll see the pressure being boosted to the system. In there, running at about 70 PSI. So now we've got 70 PSI, show the at Johnny's end. After the Rhino hose, we've now got 22, 23 PSI, that's still going up.
24.
You can be the caller on that.
25. It's racing along. 26.
So that's the pressure building in the system.
27. 20 of water coming out of that brush.
Yep, so around there, 27, 28, this kind of PSI. And then now you have a look at constructor 16-inch with 2 jets, loads and loads of velocity, of the water. And now, again, that just means that the water squeegee will be even bigger. But if you've got this much water coming out, it also means that you must use the side to side if you're going to have frames that have got dirt on them or whatever like that. You're going to need the side to side to make sure that this water doesn't wet the frame and introduce dirty water into your rinse flow. So there's some techniques of combining, the larger constructor brush and larger velocity of water. So the effect of the pump is really, really valuable for you if you're in a low pressure area like we are right now. Okay, so what's next, Johnny? All right, so this is where we're up to. We've got the wane pump running, we've got loads of velocity of water out of the constructor brush. Now you want to go and clean windows, but you can't. We've got 29 psi here, which has happened just while time is passing. And actually you need to let this run for 4 hours to get the preservatives out of the RO membranes. So this is a once only thing when you've got brand new membranes. In order to protect them for their lifespan, then they actually treat them with preservatives, and we want to just make sure that we flush all of that out, get the RO membrane open and fully operational. So we're going to let that happen. But in the meantime, let me also show you what's happening at the TDS meter. So to understand the TDS meter, we've got a little in and a little out here and an on button. So I can follow this wire around and say the in is hooked up at the back of the system. Yep, so this is the in water. This is actually the tap water in Ningbo, where we are now. And the out, in this case, I've got the out going into the DI. So this is telling us the performance of the RO membrane. Obviously, if we put the TDS meter on the out of the DI, then it'll come out as TDS 000. So what this is saying is that the TDS in is 39, and right now, while it's cleaning the ROs, the water out of the RO is 4. Okay, so that's a 90% rejection. Okay, so Johnny, if you turn that pump off, what are we running at? 30 psi in the system, so it's been building up as we go. Whack that pump off so it's not so noisy in the background. Great. Woo! So what we're going to do is let this run for 4 hours, and then you're ready to clean windows with Flow, Reach It, and Constructor.
Get flowing.